Remember that part of Forrest Gump where he just runs through the Alabama football game just like the wind, man? Suddenly those braces in his legs come off and he just is floating. And after that, he's like, if I was going anywhere, I was running. Something like that. That's the Republican Party. If you saw the hearings the other day, an audible gasp and then laughing broke out in the at the January 6th hearing on Thursday evening because they showed video. And the video showed Mr. Tough Guy, the guy who's been crying about a loss of masculinity for Republicans. Gee, wonder if he's projecting. The always impeccably dressed Yaley Josh Hawley. Oh, he's worried about, that's why he and Tucker get together, and Tucker made that video with the dude, I don't know, like telling people to get their testes tanned and then had that charger that was attached, I think, to their nutsack. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but somehow it was all about getting masculinity back. America's just losing masculinity. And I'm sure that little waspy boys, little wealthy boys, Josh Hawley and Tucker Carlson aren't looking in the mirror and thinking to themselves, yeah, there's a crisis in masculinity. I don't judge these things, except for I do judge hypocrites. And, Hawley was the guy who came in with the clenched fist of fear. He was the tough guy. He egged on a crowd of people that eventually killed a police officer and attacked and ransacked our Capitol, could have killed many more. We're trying to hang Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi. He egged them on. He went in the front door that way. Funny how he snuck out the back door later, and that was the video that was shown on the January 6th testimony as Josh Hawley nicely ran by once the regular people who didn't go to Yale and don't look like they were born with khakis stapled to them, came running in and actually tried to do the damage he incited them to do. That's Josh Hawley. Ted Cruz, the Greg Abbott Republicans ignore the power grid. It comes crashing down as you can expect. They've been paid off to ignore it by their campaign contributors / bribe. And what does he do? We get those pictures of him with his pot belly out and his suitcase, that famous image of him going to Cancun. The first time any toughness happens, the first time Ted Cruz might get a little bit cold, Mr. Tough Guy stands up, talks like a big bad man. He's running off to Cancun. And this, of course, goes for all sorts of Republicans. Donald Trump, when the protesters arrived at the White House, we now found out he actually asked the head of the Joint Chiefs, Milley, if they could be shot. He was so scared of them, these peaceful protesters, and then went and hid in the White House bunker. That's Donald Trump. I mean, again and again, these people, they're scared to answer questions from the press. They're scared to talk to anybody but Fox News and Salem Radio and Christo-fascists and other right-wing nuts. They're cowards. They're pathetic cowards, and it's so easy to see through. They won't, we've heard stories from the likes of Joe Walsh, former Republican congressman and others, how many of these people told him off the record they thought Trump was terrible and dangerous and should be removed. But they couldn't say it out loud. Oh no, God forbid. Yet again, you heard these stories during the January 6th commission. We hear about the people that did actually speak out. Some of them did publicly. Mitch McConnell blamed Trump. Kevin McCarthy called him and screamed at him and said it was his fault and he should get people down there and call the whole thing off. Then, of course, when it came time to stand up and be strong, they bowed down like the cowards they are. They're running men. That's what they are, and women. They run from things. And, in Debbie Lesko's case, apparently on a 10-year spree with her husband, going bankrupt, and I'm not even sure, maybe committing crimes. She had an alias, so who knows? And you can go through any number of Republican figures like this. There's no courage. There's no accountability. There's no confidence. They use that large hole inside them where most of us have a soul. And what they do is they use that to sort of project nastiness and toughness. I've got my fist up. I must be tough. I'm sure that worked out really well in Yale calculus class. They all just got freaked. J.D. Vance here in Ohio talking like Mr. Tough Guy, even though he was a little Yaley. He went to Northern California and got owned by Peter Thiel, a billionaire who pulls his marionette strings. Like, you go through again and again. Tom Cotton, you find out he actually wasn't. He was in the military, didn't see the action he claimed to see, and of course was a Harvard guy. I'm not criticizing people going to Ivies. I do find it hilarious though when they try to act like tough guys, like they're the party of regular people. And when the first sight of trouble, Josh Hawley's running away. The first sight of it getting really freezing cold, Ted Cruz is flying down to Cancun. The first sight of protesters, Donald Trump's hiding in a bunker. Like, this is who the Republican Party is. And the rest of these folks too, who are scared of subpoenas. Hillary Clinton sat in front of this group of jokers for 10 hours straight and answered their mostly, I'd say 98% politically based Benghazi questions that were utter BS to try to discredit her and discredit Barack Obama. They weren't trying to get to the truth of what had actually been a security failure, which would be nice to know what happened and what went wrong to save people's lives in the future. They don't care about that, though. They were trying to destroy Hillary Clinton, and it seems like it worked to a certain degree. She sat there for 10 hours. Mark Meadows, the Trump family, Mike Pence, they're scared. Oh, subpoenas, what will we do? Hell, Mike Pence is too scared to sit alone at a dinner with a woman that's not his wife. They are a party of cowards. They are a party of running men and women. And that Josh Hawley running away from trouble, like the wimp he is, in his nice little outfit after he did the strong fist, like he was some tough guy walking in, should be the metaphor of all metaphors for the Republican Party of all time. Hey guys, if you like this, we're growing rapidly. Please subscribe, please hit like, please comment, share it with everybody you know and encourage them to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know. We'll keep the videos coming.